forecasting, yeah, in that one it's left, but more is left. Otherwise, more is left. I'm just also trying to see. I don't want to overburden you guys. At least let's finish this dashboard over here. Okay, in this dashboard, we are going to try and create this sheet over here. There are a couple of things in this. One is that we are trying to do a forecasting, and one is we are trying to do a trend analysis, like what is the general trend of the data. Then we are also working with monthly return sales trend. What has been the trend, which category has been returned more, and so on and so forth. So over here, how do you create a monthly profit trend, and what is the purpose of creating it? So monthly profit trend. So how will we create it? It's a line chart. I want a monthly trend. So let's say I'm going to drop in I can drop in the calendar date. And then in the hierarchy, this we have done so many times now. And in the hierarchy, I can pick a year and month. Then I can go to the sales. And over here, I can pick up the profit. So total profit. Right? This everybody is clear with how this has been created. No issues, right?
Yes, Ashwin.
Yes, this is clear. Now, what we are trying to say, okay, we can see the profit that it was down, then it came up, then it went down, and now it is improving. Now, if I wanted to, if someone wanted to understand, okay, what is the general trend of profit? Are we making profit? Is it decreasing, or is it like going flat? We are not increasing or decreasing in profit. So that's called trend. So I want to see what is the trend of the analysis. Now you will see that in this particular type of chart, when I've selected, a third icon have appeared, which is for analytics. Okay, it is not necessary all of the charts will have it. For example, if I have the total profits, and let's say if I put it against, let's say the category name, right? And when I've selected it over here also it's there, but these are constant, min, max, average, versus when you select a line chart, there are many things that are over here. So depending on the chart type that you selected, you may have analytics, you may not have analytics, and the choices that you have in there may also vary. So the first one, what we want to do is create a trend line. We understood what is a trend line, right? Over a period of time, just to get an idea of how the trend has been. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Or there is no effect in it? So if you turn it on, a trend line has been created very easily. So that's how you put a trend line. Now, if you want to format your trend line in terms of, okay, I want the color to be different, and I want the transparency to be, I don't want it to overpower my main graph, so I can play around with these things also. I ate it up. Okay, it's back. So you can play around with these colors and decrease the transparency so that it's not overpowering your main thing. You can change the dashes how you want it, dotted or dashes, all these things you can do. And this is generally telling us that the business is doing good, because a trend shows that the profit is positive direction this trend is. If the line is inclining up, or how should I say, this is a positive profit. If I had it in the opposite direction, it means it has a negative trend. And if it was a flat line, it would say there is no change in the trend. Okay. Similarly, you will see that we have also done profit forecasting. So how we are doing profit forecasting, I'm going to select this as it is, shifting it over here. And I'm going to go to the analytics, turn off the trend. And over here at the bottom, you have X, Y, min, max, average, medium, and you have something called forecast. So once you click on, you turn it on and you click and you look at various choices. What this is doing, it is forecasting the profit for you. But whenever we do forecasting, we need a lot of data points. It doesn't really work very well when you have very less data points. If you have only 3 or 4 forecast points, then this forecasting may not even make sense, right? So make sure we have a lot of data points when we are doing forecasting. So it's saying, okay, this is the general trend. And this is how we are forecasting the profit to be in the next how many days or how many months or how many years that we are deciding over here. So we want to do it, let's say 6 months. So the forecast length is months, length is 6. And if we click on apply, now it is only forecasting for the next 6 months. And you can't even forecast, you can't just say let's forecast for the next 3 years and all the months I want to look at. That might not again give you a very good forecast model also. Okay. Confidence interval is the confidence level by which we are forecasting, because these may come out to be accurate, they may not be accurate. So what is the confidence by which you are forecasting it? So that's your confidence interval. Typically, we will keep it at 90 or 95%. We do not make it more than that or less than that. So typically, that's what I've seen in the industry happening. And forecast line, again, if you want to change something. So typically, I like the forecast line also to be of a different color, just like how I had the other line. What is the style? Let's say I want again the dotted one to be there. Then this is again the confidence band. Do you want it filled? Do you want a line to be there? This is the line then. Or do you want it to be filled? Do you want nothing? It depends on that. So this is your the forecasting part. Okay, can all of you complete these two, and then we'll move on and I'll talk more about what are the other choices we have in analytics when it comes to line chart, like what is the role of constant X, constant Y, min, max, average, and so on and so forth. We'll speak about these things also. Quickly create these two. I know some of you have already created it. Yeah, I know you've finished it, Shweta. Done. Lalit done, Ankita done. Second done.
Nishani.
Done. Okay.
Done, Nishani.
All right. Sanjay is also done. Amit, Abhishek, Sunil, Sandeep, Neil, Sitaram, Suman, Yash, Vivek. Today the population is less. Done. Okay.
Shikhar this side.
Yeah,
This,
Shikhar.
yeah, the second one I'm not getting this.
As in, you don't know where to find it?
Yeah, the options I'm not getting in my Power BI.
Can you share your screen quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Shikhar, are you sharing?
Yes, Shani. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, you have to click on the analytics one. The kind of a lens, no, third one to the right, yes. And click on the, yeah, go down, scroll down, forecast. So click here, scroll down and click on add. Okay, so let's say 6 months. So months and months, yeah, this will be 6. That's it. That's what we created to. Got it?
And we have created confidence also.
Click on apply. Huh? No, I kept it 95%. It's good. That's a general practice that we follow. That's it.
Okay.
All right. There is something odd in your forecast model. Why is it looking so odd? Why is it forecasting from that point?
From
the trend line has to be off for the second one, trend line.
Turn the trend line off. Delete it. Delete.
yeah, now it's perfect.
No. You see the difference. Your forecast is starting from Jan 2017. Why? That's what I'm asking.
No,
Why
it
should-
started from Jan 2015.
No, your forecast line.
Forecast. Okay, that's
Forecasting is done after you have the data points, not right. When you already have a data point, why it's forecasting from there? Can I go and look at your forecast model once again? Go
Shani,
down
my
where
also
you
is coming after 2017 only.
It should come after 2017. 10, 6, seasonality, auto. Why is it coming so? Can I get control of your screen once?
yeah, sure.
It says ignore the last 6 months.
Ignore the last 6 months. That's why. It should not be ignored last 6 months. The point should be for the 6 months. That's where we went wrong. Even I didn't pay attention to it. So that's the reason. This is 0. And on the top is forecast is for 6 months. Now it's correct. Thank you. Now it's correct. All right. And
Yes,
this
sir.
is the band style and all those things we were talking about. Do you want a band? Do you want a line? What color? What transparency? You can fix from here.
But we have not taken this confidence.
We have the confidence interval of 95% is by default.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you, Shan.
You're welcome. Stop sharing so that I can start sharing. All right, thank you. Okay, the last, okay, let's talk about these first, then we'll talk about other things. So what else is going on over here? Let me do one thing. Now, sometimes you will also see what we are trying to do, put some target lines, right? Let's say there's a certain target that we have and we want to see how much is above or how much is below the target and things like that. So there is where your x-axis and the y-axis constant lines come into picture. So if I say, let's say I want to add a x-axis constant line, and if I click over here, what do you want the line to be? What do I want the line to be? X-axis constant line. Let's say January 2016. Should give me add a line. Value. Okay, if you want to give a, like, this is a date, the x-axis is a date, so you will get in a format of a date. So let's say if I wanted to do January of 1st and 2016, right? You see this line has come up. If I want to give a name to it, COVID something like that. I know COVID was not there that time, but just to give you, like, we can give a name, we can give a value, we can give a color. And similarly, just like we have applied an x-axis, we can also have a y-axis constant. Let's say in this case, I want to name it as my target line, target profit. And then what is the value you want to give to it, to this line? Let's say it's 4 million, 123, 123. And 4 million is too much. Let's put as 2 million. Okay, this is also too much. It is point this. Okay, this is better. So let's say this was my profit line. This was one of the axes, and we can create charts in this fashion where we are dividing into quadrants to say in which quadrant when did it lie. Okay, so that is where your x-axis and the y-axis constant lines would be there. It's not necessary to have both of them. It may be either one of them. Let's say you want to say something, okay, this was a profit before an offer or before a marketing scheme, and this is the profit after a marketing scheme. So in that case, we are putting an x-axis constant. If we have targets, if we had like this is what you wanted to achieve, and now we want to see how much is above or below, then we'll use a y-axis constant line. Okay, and what does the min and the max line do really is, let me turn these off. It gives you a general idea of where your data lies. So if I put up a min line, so what it does is adds a line, and you will see what it is doing. It didn't ask for any values from you, and it is giving it as min line. It has got the series and the line formatting style is there, but it's not asking for any kind of value from you, because what it is taking into consideration is the minimum value of the profit. So at the minimum point it has put this thing, and similarly if you do the max, it will create a line at the maximum. So you can get a general idea, okay, between min and max, where are my values line. So that is the role of min and max. Average line, you don't have to calculate the average. Once you click on it, it will create an average line for you. So we can see, okay, which are the months. So till, for example, of July 2016, our sales were below average, and after July 2016, we had a above average sales. Right? So this point I can put an x-axis also, because this is a key, distinction between when it was below average, above average. And if I want to analyze few things that after this period, what all have happened, then I can focus in this quadrant over here. So that's pretty much what you're doing over here in the axis over here, right? So like I said, it may be what do you call it, may be a line, it could be a bar chart also you could have created. And in bar chart also you can have these lines, you have averages, you have min and max, you have median lines, and a constant line. Okay, any questions around this? No, let me try one thing. It's the same thing, only it's giving. So this is a scatter plot, right? And does anybody know what is the role of a scatter plot? What is the role of a scatter plot? Relationship.
Does it show relationship between three components, three fields?
Yes. Why is IVP a person to answering the question? Don't answer. It basically helps you to find out the relationship between the two variables. Okay. For example, we are trying to see what is the relationship of sales and profit. As in, when we're increasing the sales, does the profit increase or is it decreasing? Okay, because it may be that I'm increasing the revenue, but I'm increasing the revenue based on discounts, then my profit would be lower. So if I wanted to understand this kind of relationship, then we use a scatter plot. And let me just put this only. Let's put the product name. What happened now? What did I press extra? So if I press the product name, so all these are the various product names that are there. There are certain products where you see where they give higher sales and higher profit. There are certain ones which are giving lower sales and lower profit. Now in this, when you click over here, symmetry shading. No, it doesn't come up over here. I was thinking it'll do something similar to what. No. All right, forget about this one. So in this case also, we draw trend line. And when you draw the trend line, it gives you a typical relationship between the sales and profit. So same thing, when you're drawing the trend line, if the trend line is showing up, it means that as the sales increases, the profit is going to increase. If it was in this direction, it would mean if the sales is increasing, the profit is decreasing. And if it was flat, it would mean that there's no effect of sales and profit. Okay, so we can have a trend line. Typically, we have a trend line with the scatter plots. In order to understand it better, we always have this trend line over here. Right, and let's move on to the last chart that was there, which was a area chart. What's the purpose of an area chart? What's the purpose of the area chart?
So basically, when we have quantifiable data sets, like, so we see the area between two variables, I believe.
When you want to compare over a period of time.
Because I use this area chart when I compare three variables I have, and I just want to see the area between two.
Yeah, so you are looking at the difference, right?
Yes.
You're looking at the difference, but okay, you can do that, but you could do it with a column chart also. Why area?
Not difference. I'm looking at how much, like out of 100, 30 for this, 20 for this, rest 50 for this. This is what I'm using.
But does it give like that? Which one are you using? Are you using 100%
Area
stack?
Yes. Not 100%.
The stacked column,
Yeah,
the stacked area chart. Okay,
Yes.
so in stacked area chart, what you have is axis, legends, values. So let's say in axis, I want to still work with my date. So I can go over here and drop. Let's drop the start of the month this time. And we can take it up as a date. Okay, then we are dropping the value. What are we trying to look at? Let's say we want to evaluate the sales. Now sales of what? This is overall sales.
Product,
right?
if you have 3 or 4, we can
So,
check on product.
right. So if I wanted to do it based on the product, then I had put a category name over here. Right. So in category, now what it is showing you is this is the stacked area chart that you have. Somewhere something doesn't seem correct. Bikes. Category name. Next looks correct. It doesn't look like a problem because of my dates, but dates are daily dates. Something doesn't look correct in this. Clothing is I think it's a type of, what did I do?
Accessories should be more.
Why is it coming so bad? What did I do wrong? Category is this. Sales. Oh, this is sales. Sales is higher for bikes, yes, but for clothing is the sales that high. Is the sales comparable for both? Not at all. Clothing and bike. It's not comparable. So why am I getting comparable values? Can anybody think about what went wrong? What's wrong with this?
Actually, Shani, we need to create the return trend.
No, but if I want to put sales, oh, it's a stack column chart. And if I put over here, then you will see the difference. So see, so okay. Yeah, and the values are such that it is not very visible. Just to give you an idea of what is going on over here. So sales of your, this is your clothing, and sales of this is accessories, right? So when I am doing just like a normal area chart, what it is plotting, first of all, one thing we notice is July 2016 is when I am looking at the sales of accessories and clothing. So assumption is that before this, we were not selling accessories and clothing, only bikes were sold. Then we added this line of accessories and clothing from July 2016, and that's from where we see the sales. But if I have to compare the sales of bikes versus accessories and clothing, it's significantly lesser than what my bikes are giving. And that is there because that's what we are looking up in the report as well, in the numbers. So this is like 7 lakhs, this is 26,000, this is 71,000. So this is exactly what we are seeing over here, right? So if this is 0 million, this is 0.5 million, this is where your two things are sitting, and this is the highest point. Now, when you stack them up, then it doesn't mean that I'm going to read like what Shweta was talking about. It's not that I'm going to read this line, this yellow thing on the top of clothing is not that it's more than 1.5 million. This is just giving us the difference between it. So this distance that you see that accessories were sold more or gave us more sales in 2016 September versus clothing, and the bikes had the higher sale because this difference between the two lines is telling what the bikes have contributed. Second number was accessories and the third number was clothing. So clothing pretty much in overall scenario is contributing the least to the sales as compared to the bikes and accessories. And this is the same trend that has been followed over a period of time. Nowhere that you will see that the clothing has contributed more than the accessories. So this is how you're going to read it. Now, I think the one that I created, I have not put sales. I have put something
Total
else.
order quantity can put.
I have put return trends.
Yeah, here to return.
What was returned, right? If you put, yes, whatever you put, basically the thing is, you can see the difference over here. Sales also, you should know how to interpret it. In sales, there's a significant difference in the sales quantity. But when you put in the quantity, now you can see there's a significant, this is still my, so the maximum amount is which category? Maximum amount is done by which category?
Accessories.
accessories quantity.
Accessories. So if you see the value, the accessory is 5,000. And then this distance between the green and the orange line is the quantity of the bikes. This distance between the yellow and the green line is the difference of, that is the quantity of the clothing. So you can't say that maximum was sold by clothing. That will be a wrong interpretation of a stacked area chart. These are called stacked area charts. If I wanted to see the overlapping and see the exact numbers, then this would be a better representation. Right? Over here, I can look at the values as it is and say, okay, this is, this point is 5,000, this point is 1,000, this point is 1,200. So I can read these points. So this is your normal area. And when you want to concentrate on the difference between the two, then we look at the stacked area chart. All right. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Ashani.
Yes, Sean.
All right. We did not create a gauge chart also, which is this one over here. Did we create it?
No.
No, we have not created the gauge chart. So what does a gauge chart do? It is pretty much used as the same as your KPIs. And when you click on the gauge chart, what are the things that you need to give to it? If you look at it, it requires a value. What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? What is the target value? Typically, min and max, it evaluates by itself. So let's say I wanted sales to go to the value. So what the gauge chart does, 24.91 is my total sales. It does 0 and whatever is this number, double of it becomes the maximum. So it puts the min and maximum by itself and it's showing me the total sales that have happened so far. And this is right in the middle over here. Now, if I had a target, let's say the way we created our KPIs, we said, okay, there's a sales you are going to evaluate and the target is the previous month. So if I put previous month sales over here as a target, did it make any difference?
No.
No.
No, it didn't make any difference. And why? Because the previous month sales is a tiny number as compared to the total sales value. So should we be looking at the total sales? Because the target is previous month sales, it's not that total of it. So what we are going to do is we are going to work with filters to give the same effect as KPI, where we are focusing on the latest, the last month of my data set. So what is the last month of my data set? What was the target on it? Did I achieve it or I did not achieve it? Okay, so what we're going to do is we will put this one over here and let's pick start of month. We can drop it in this field. We are going to make it top N. I want to see the first one. And in the values also, I'll have to pick the end of month. Why end of month I have to pick? Because the whole point of putting this filtering over here is I want the last month of my data set. Okay, so when I put top N and I put a value, and instead of saying earliest, if I do the latest means the last month that is there in my data set, and apply filter, automatically it has picked the last month sales, which is 183. Now it has started to show your target, which is 1.77, and it can be easily seen that we have gone beyond our target value. So this is giving you the same replica as your
Shani, where did we put the target?
KPI. See, it's 183, 177 was the goal. Same thing we have done over here. So in your gauge chart, Kshitij, you have value and you have target value also. Min and max, it picks itself, and like I told you what it does, whatever is your value, it does 0 on one side and double of it on the other side. Okay, so we put a target value, but for the target value to be worked, for it to work, what is required is that you do this filtering part just like how we had to do for our text cards. Kind of same thing. We are saying we want the top N, we want the first one, and which based on the latest start of month. Okay, this I've done for sales. We can do it for, I think previous month we've also did for quantity, so we can create one more. So let's do it with me this time. So we are creating a gauge chart. What we require is, let's say we want to create a gauge chart for the quantity. So first thing it requires is a value. What you are evaluating, what should I put over here? Total quantity,
The quantity.
right? So automatically this comes up. Second step, give the target. So in my case, again, I've created previous month quantity, so I'm dropping that in target. So far, so good.
Yes.
Everyone done till this part?
Yes.
No, Ishani, I have not done.
Yeah,
Can you
I'm
please?
waiting. I'm waiting.
So first we have put target value as
Target values is the previous month quantity, which is a field we have already calculated when we were making the KPIs.
and value is total quantity, right?
Mhm. Now the next step is, instead of the gauge chart focusing on the total quantity, I wanted to focus to the last month of my data. Okay. One thing we could have done, we could have said, okay, why don't you simply put your start of month over here in the data? And we could have gone and said, okay, I want the last month. Isn't it? Yes, no,
Yeah, done, Ishani.
done. We could have also did something like this, right? But this is one sales. I've got the last one. Da, 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 da. Oh. Okay. So like I said, what we could have also done, we could have said, okay, in the start of month, I don't want all the start of month, I want the last month. This is also giving me the same idea. 8260 was the total quantity sold and target was 8199. I have done more than that. Right? Exactly the same thing.
Yes. Right.
Same thing, right? But the way of doing this is little statics. Why static? Because right now that is the last month, but if the data updates, then that is not the last month.
Correct.
So rather
Last
than
month
doing
change.
it in a very manual fashion, what we are trying to do is we will bring the month of start of month, and we're putting in the filter. Instead of doing the basic one, we want to have it on top end. And what do we want top end? Top one. Based on which field? Based on again start of month only. And instead of having the earliest, since it's a date, we are going to pick a latest one. Latest month means last month, and apply the filter. Let me know if you guys are done.
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 Shani, I'm not able to select the field by value. Not sure why.
Can you share your screen once? Okay. And drop your start of month again in by value
Sorry.
and change it to latest. Click on apply. And that's it. Okay, then we can format to make the data bigger, labels bigger, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
Right, so this was a gauge chart. I think I spelled this correctly. Gauge. I always misspell it. All right.
So Ishani, can we change the endpoint, target endpoint of the gauge chart?
You can. So let's say minimum is this, maximum was add a field over here. So it has to be dropped as a field. You cannot type in as a value. You have to drop it as a field.
Okay.
So if there was a field of minimum values and the maximum values for each month, then it would have made sense. Or a maximum value field is there, that this is the order quantity that I require. Maximum that can be sold, then it would go over there. All right. Okay, next thing is so let's talk about this chart, very interesting chart called decomposition tree. Has anybody heard about it? What is a decomposition tree? No. So it also helps us to understand how a particular value is flowing, which is the highest, which is the lowest, and so on and so forth. So for example, if I create a decomposition tree, so what it requires me to work with is, let's say I want to analyze the sales. Okay. So it says, what do you want to analyze? What do you want to explain it by? So I want to analyze my sales value, and I want it to be explained by, so the total sales is given over here. And now what I want it to be explained by, let's say, countries. So I'm going to drop my country over here. So as soon as I do that, you see that plus sign coming up over here, right? Now, once you're going to click on the plus sign, you will get two choices, either high or low value or the country. So if I say, let's say high value. So what it is going to do is, it is going to show me the highest value, which is United States on the top, followed by Australia, followed by United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Canada. So this is showing us what? What is this telling us?
Where the total sales are the highest.
Total
Say that louder,
sales.
please. Total sales is highest in
United States.
United States. United States has the total highest sales, right? So that is telling us this. Now in United States, let's say I also wanted to understand based on the product, where is product name. I also want to explain it by product name. Now, if you remember, what I did was, when you click over here, it is giving me high, low, country, and category name. If I'm doing high value, it is not showing me country anymore, even though if I shift the country over here, then it is showing me country, but otherwise not. So look over here, I'm pushing the country on the top. So it's country and then category name. I'll click here, I'll click high. It is going to give me the category. So what is high actually doing? When you click on high, what is it actually doing?
Is it filtering?
Filtering based on what? Like I have two fields right over here. I've got a category name, I've got country. So why is it giving me bikes?
Did they
So,
talk?
because if you divide your sales into categories as bikes, accessories, and clothing, the total amount of the bikes is much higher than what United States had. Okay, so when you say high, so whatever fields you have, it is going to start with the field which is giving you the highest output. So in this case, more than the country, the category name has more effect. So that's my high value. Now bikes are the highest high value. Now when I click on the plus sign, and if I click on high or country, it's going to give me the same effect. So let's click on high. So in bikes, we can say United States has the highest, followed by Australia, and so on and so forth. And similarly, we can click on the accessories, we can click on the clothing, and we can get an idea of how the value is. So you can right click and drill through. These are, when you do drill through, this is going to take you to the other sheet. And now let's look at it one more time to understand how it works. So again, now countries on the top, category name is there. When I click on it, it is asking me, how do you want to expand it? Do you want to expand based on country, based on category name? So if I click on country, it will only give me country wise. Then within the country wise, I can click on category name. Now it is giving me country wise how the category sales is flowing up. So in over here, I can click on Australia. It is going to talk about Australia, United Kingdom, and so on and so forth. But high and low, I hope everybody has understood the difference between if I press on high, low versus a field, what is the difference you're going to get?
Yes, Sushant.
Yes,
Right?
Could you
So
please
this-
repeat the category name part?
And repeat the category part as in?
Like country and category, all the views, both the views showing together.
So just click on this. If you don't want to do high low, depending on how do you want to start, you want to analyze based on country or you want to do in category name. So we click on country, right? Now, even if you press high and low or category name, same output will be there. Why same output will be there? Only one field is left. If there were two fields, then it would have been different. Right? So if I click on category name, it has now expanded to the category level. So I know the total sales is higher in the United States. In United States, bike is contributing to the maximum sales. So this is called a decomposition tree. It gives you a very nice or a good understanding of the flow of your values. Okay, very similar to what decomposition tree does for you. It has definitely got more intelligence into it, but there's another type of chart called Sankey charts, which also kind of helps you to understand the flow of a value from one place to another place. Everyone tried and tested this one?
Not.
Yes.
Yes.
Shani, I have done this country wise.
Say that again. Try it once. And guys who have already done this work, can you help me to understand, do all of you have a login into Power BI or no?
Sorry, could you please repeat, Ishani?
Do you guys have the login into Power BI? Do you have your names on the top or no?
No, there is a sign in. Also.
Yes. Okay. But before that, you will have to do a sign up. So I'll try to send in the steps of doing a sign up today, and I'll request Vinay to share it in your WhatsApp group. So I would want at least you guys do the sign up part. We are not going to waste our time over here in the class. And then once you're done your sign up, then I will talk about these custom visualizations that you can pick from various online sources. So pretty much think about them as a template which is already there. So templates are there, you just have to pick and drop your value, but this will not appear if you have not done a sign up. The three dots won't be there. Plus, we'll talk about key influencers tomorrow. We'll talk about waterfall charts, the funnel charts, and one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Shani, I am
Smart
not getting
narratives.
category name.
Say that again.
I'm not getting category name. Like country wise, I have done, but not category name.
Did you drop explain by category name?
No.
So you have to drop it.
Okay.
You can put many things over here. Like I can bring also, for example, I can put a product color also over here in explain by. Okay, so now if I open it up, I can see for high value. So for bikes, highest is the black, followed by silver, red. If I talk about clothing, highest is black, multi, yellow, blue, white. So you can keep on adding fields for the explanation part.
But in one only you have done this country and category both.
In one
I'm
only
not-
meaning?
Means in you are showing this in one only this.
So, but explain by, if I don't have a category name, how will I
No,
have
I
it?
have added that.
Okay, then you click on the plus sign. If you click on the plus sign,
Just a minute.
when you have
Okay.
it over here, there's a plus sign that appears in front, right?
Okay.
Once you click on it, it will expand.
Okay. Okay, got
Similarly
it.
for others also.
Got it. Got it.
Correct?
Thank you. Yes,
You're
got it.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's about it for today. So we are going to work on, like I said, we are going to work on your smart, I think Q&A, smart narratives, key influencers. We'll talk about waterfall, funnels, these charts. We'll talk about custom AI. And before that, I would request everyone to do this login, sign up. Sign up has to be there. Okay, and we'll talk about a little bit about this row level security. What is it? How does it online look like? Where do you share your what do you call the dashboard and so on and so forth. So tomorrow is the last class, and we will be covering the basics over here. All right, I'll try to send you the sign up page quickly so that before tomorrow's class you have done the sign up. We are not going to waste time in doing sign up in the class.
Okay,
Or-
Ishani.
Okay,
Ishani, one
Ishani.
thing I want to say, if Chanchal is here, can she
Chanchal
put,
is not there. She's on leave today. Ronnie is there from my team. Tell me, he can also help you.
yeah, because what has happened for SQL, I think Pratik has taken the admin rights. So we are not able to log in to the,
Yes, Shani, and I've written this to Pratik, I mean, to the email
so
ID.
we are
as
not,
well.
yeah, we are not able to practice on any data,
Since
kind of a
2 weeks.
database.
Ronnie, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please call Chanchal and get this issue resolved.
And
Can you
because
please
without
repeat the
that,
issue?
without that, we can't even do anything.
So, Ronnie, the issue is that they had, Chanchal had uploaded some data set, which is going to be there in their assessment, I think, on Saturday.
Okay, ma'am.
And they need to practice for it, but that somehow they're not able to access and practice with it. Some changes have been there. So figure it out with Chanchal today and get it resolved.
Is it on Monday or Saturday?
I
guess,
forgot.
I
Monday.
guess it's on Monday.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's on Monday.
Yeah,
It's on Monday.
Yeah, so
Monday.
so if Chanchal can provide whatever in the assessment, the database is given so that we can upload on.
Can you repeat the platform? Is it LMS?
Yes.
You talk to Chanchal. Talk to Chanchal. She knows
Okay,
what they're talking
okay,
about.
ma'am.
Okay, talk to Chanchal. Otherwise,
We
you
need
will also
data
get
set also
confused.
on which we have to practice.
Yes.
Talk to Chanchal. Just say they're not able to access the database. Resolve it. Period.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
That's it.
Sure.
All right. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
Shani.
Thank you, Shani.
Bye-bye.
Thank
you, Shani.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.